Hey everyone, it's Jack here, TalkNorwichCity. Welcome back to another video. I'm going to officially name this the first video of the 2023-2024 season. It is upon us. Norwich's first championship game of the season against Hull at Carrow Road this Saturday. Pre-season is done. Now all we can do is wait and hope that this season is going to be a good one. Also, a big welcome to all of our new and old sponsors back to the channel. You may have seen all of the new faces on the intro, and you can catch them on the outro as well. So a big welcome to them. Some really cool guys involved, so you can check them out. Links in the description to all of those respective sponsors. Welcome along. As I say, pre-season's done, and whisper it quietly, but a fairly positive one for Norwich City. We remained undefeated. We conceded just 3 goals. And on the whole, I know it's pre-season, not too many negatives. I'm sure we'll get into some of the negatives in this video. But let's just have a quick spin through who we've played, what the results were. So we started against Barnet with a 1-1 draw. We then beat Kings Lynn Town 6-1. I'm sure Chris has something to say about beating Kings Lynn Town. We went to Germany and beat Darmstadt 1-0. Another clean sheet against Kaiserslautern. That was 0-0, that one. Then we went over to the Netherlands, played AZ Alkmaar 1-1. And then 2 consecutive clean sheets away to Toulouse. And then a 2-0 win at Carrow Road against Olympiacos. That one was on Saturday. McLean and Sargent on the score sheet for those. So I think the trend we can see, and having listened to David Wagner's post-match comments after that Olympiacos game, it feels clear that the kind of objective of pre-season was to tighten up at the back, and seemingly we have cracked that. Now, strength of opposition, obviously, you can go into Barnet and Kings Lynn. I'd say they were more just training matches. Even the games in Germany, Darmstadt and Kaiserslautern, not the best of opposition. And then probably the last 3 not too bad. AZ Alkmaar, Toulouse and Olympiacos. I think you can read more into them, and you could start to see kind of Wagner's philosophy a little bit more in those as well. So here's what I've kind of drawn from pre-season so far, and I think it's clear to see as well. Look, the transfer window is yet to shut. I expect there will be a few more outgoings. I know the club have mentioned that they don't expect any more incomings until there's outgoings. You've got Max Aarons, who will be leaving at some point. To where, I'm not sure. The latest link is with Southampton, which would seem a bit of a strange one, considering they'll be playing their football in the Championship next season. You've got Big Andy, who I'm sure will be departing, and maybe one other. So let's say there's a maximum of 2 incomings that will be coming in. You obviously got Signs, who we brought in, who is now out on a long-term injury as well. So you're kind of probably needing another 1 or 2 players to come in. But there's not going to be too much in terms of incomings and outgoings from now on. So what we've seen probably against Olympiacos is going to be very similar to what we'll take to the field against Hull at the weekend. So Gibson and Duffy as your centre-back pairing, and I think obviously, as we've mentioned, they've kept clean sheets, and that's positive. I like the look of what I've seen from Duffy so far. He looks positive. Aerially, he looks really strong. The one concern with those two is injuries, and I think we're going into the season at the moment very light in terms of centre-backs. As I say, Big Andy will probably be departing. We've got Tomkinson, who's going to be out for a considerable amount of time with an injury. So we are going into the season light. I guess you've got Sorensen, who could maybe play there again. He was missing at the weekend due to an injury. So that concerns me slightly. But if they keep fit, that's not the worst centre-back pairing in the world. Maybe concerned about pace somewhat. Look, it is what it is at the moment. I would like to see another centre-back come in. That's what we're going for at the moment. Watching what Wagner's tried to do with the wingers has been interesting as well. He's played Puemezwa Boheta quite a lot. Onel Hernandez has started regularly. So I think we can probably conclude that Hernandez will be starting. The one of interest is Jonathan Rowe, because he looks like the one who's probably broke through, if you can break through in pre-season. There's been some impressive performances from him. I can't imagine that Wagner will start him from the off against Hull, but we could see a lot more of Rowe this season, and hopefully for him and for us. He has a really good campaign. Barnes and Sargent, can they play together? They've certainly tried to. That's going to be fascinating. I think Sargent has to be played through the middle. Barnes, of course, has to be played through the middle. Whether they go with both of them at once, or try to, play Sargent from the off and then Barnes as kind of an impact striker. I can't imagine Barnes will have come in with the promise that he'll be played from the bench. So I suspect he'll be getting a lot of game time, which throws up another question. We're going into the season arguably without a central defensive midfielder. I think it's clear from what we've seen since January 23 that Wagner doesn't necessarily want to play with one, and it feels like this needs to be a breakout season really for Nunes. He'll probably be playing alongside a Sarah, or one of those will be more advanced. You've got Kenny McLean in there, who's had a pretty busy summer with Scotland, so lots of moving parts there. The pleasing thing for me this pre-season, I think Barnes has looked exactly what we need. Jack Stacey looks like a really shrewd signing. I think that's probably the most pleasing signing for me. He's slotted into right back effortlessly. The left back position has kind of been occupied by Dimi Anulis. I certainly didn't think he'd be sticking around at the start of the transfer window. That's now looking more likely. So you're going into a campaign with a squad that is kind of impressed in pre-season. You've got lots of faces there that were here last season, and I'm actually okay with that. I'm kind of okay with that, because you see with squads with big churn, it takes time for that to come to fruition, and I think Norwich just need some consistency. We've got rid of some players that were clearly aging and not good enough. We've brought in a few players. I think we've used the free transfer market quite well, and you've got a couple of players, as I mentioned, with Rowe. I think Nunes really needs to break through this season, that can have an impression. I think my concerns coming into this are the centre backs and how long and how much workload they can use. The wingers, I still don't think we've quite cracked that. You've got Milo Rashica and you've got Christos Jolis that seemingly won't be used. And yeah, it's going to be fascinating. It really is. I think I'm going into this season not expecting much. And I still need to see proof that, I've seen a lot of people predicting that Norwich will get into the top 6. I, for one, can't see that myself, but you never know. You never know. I'm just looking at it and going, 1 win in 11 at the back end of last season. I know there were injuries. I don't think the squad's got any better since then. I haven't seen enough change from this Wagner side to suggest that the upturn in form will be huge. And I know the argument is that that plenty of other championship clubs haven't strengthened quickly over the summer either. But I need to see real proof in the championship, and I just don't think there's been enough to suggest that we can put together a playoff chasing campaign this season. I really hope I'm wrong, and I've been wrong plenty before. Let me know what you thought of this pre-season. Were you chuffed? Did you think we looked a little bit stodgy? Were we creating enough? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'm really intrigued to hear, but more importantly, I'm buzzing for the start of this season. It starts on Saturday. I will be at Carrow Road. I can't wait, and I hope to see some of you there too. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye.